It's me, Kat. Welcome to YouTube episode number 14. Dun dun dun. If you don't know me, my name is Kat Hills. I live in the Pacific Northwest with my 3 kids and kitty cats, and I started a YouTube channel and a company at the end of 2020. I make a weekly Friday video where I do a quick life update, an update about my company and creative project, the Archive Hive, and then I talk a little bit about what we are consuming as a family, what media, what books, and what shows and movies we are watching. So welcome. Thanks for being here, everyone. Let's get started. As my life update this week, I'm going to do a quick recap of 2020 since we just celebrated the new year. We're going to do 5 things in each category. So, 2020 update number 1. In March of 2020, I had surgery. I had a hysterectomy, and I thought that was going to be the most exciting part of 2020, and I was super anxious about it. I read through all of my journal entries from 2020 last week, and it was just pages and pages filled with anxiety about the surgery. And little did I know that was just the start of just this kind of very different year. So I did get my surgery in. 2 days after my surgery, the state of Oregon stopped elective surgeries. So I am forever thankful that I got it done. My family was supposed to come out and help me with recovery, and instead we all decided that we shouldn't fly. It was the initial COVID precautions. We decided that none of them should fly out here. And so instead of having assistance, I instead had 3 children that were no longer going to school, who were virtually schooling. So no help, plus 3 kids in virtual school, plus a husband who was helping the state with their COVID response from a tech perspective. And so he was like working these crazy 60-hour weeks in March and April. So, good times with surgery in the beginning of 2020. 2, COVID-19, which is a thing that you may have heard of this year. I'm including it on my list because I hope that I can include it on the 2020 list this way. 2020 list, and that I will never have to include it on another annual update once more, although question mark, who knows. COVID also marked the beginning of virtual schooling, which is in my case still happening in my house. So happy new year to us. I am not cut out to be a teacher. Come on, 2021, bring me back, teachers and school. Okay, 3. This also is a bit of a downer moment, but this is one of our first years living out on the West Coast, and our area of Oregon was particularly impacted by wildfires this year. And I think they got within 20 miles of our home, which it would have been kind of a big jump for the fires to actually get to our house. But we did sort of have this crazy experience because we were already sort of in a quarantine lockdown state. And so then it felt like we were even further quarantined and locked down because we really couldn't go outside. The air quality was just horrible. The air quality number, we weren't even on the chart. We were off the chart for dangerous air quality, and so we mostly stayed inside. Our cars were covered with ash. Our backyard was covered with ash. Our little inflatable swimming pool was full of ash. It was so sad. And our whole house smelled sort of like there was a campfire burning kind of like directly in our living room. We made this kind of like crazy fan filter with a like a home, the filters you have for your home that you put in your home, we used one of those and attached it to a box fan and tried to filter out some of the bad air in our house. And it was surprisingly disgusting, you guys. Like, we definitely were breathing in some very not great air for a few weeks. But again, we are thankful to have our home and our health and our family. It was our first fire experience, and I definitely would not like to repeat that experience in 2021 either. Okay, number 4. On to some good news. In September, we got our pandemic pet. It was sort of a joint birthday present for my husband and my 9-year-old daughter. She turned 9 and she had been asking for a kitty for quite a while. And so we just decided to go for it. And we adopted a kitten from the Willamette Valley Humane Society. And her name, when we got her at the Humane Society, was Triceratops, which we thought was a sign because my youngest loves dinosaurs, and also she was insanely adorable. And so we chose to bring her home with us, and Nora named her Nova. So now we equalize the balance in our house, and we have 3 girls and 3 boys, which is very important to my children. Yay, 2020. Thank you for helping balance some things out. Okay, last but not least, number 5, and my favorite, was starting the Archive Hive, which has been it is the name of my new business and my new creative project. And it's been a project that I have sort of had in my head for the last year or two. And I finally put something out into the universe. And I created these Christmas journals, 5 or 6 different covers. And I used a print-on-demand service, Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, and I sold over 400 journals this year. So I am very proud of myself for putting it out into the world, and I'm just beyond thrilled that people are interested in the concept and that people have purchased it, and I'm looking forward to seeing where that takes me in 2021. And I will be YouTubing about it, hopefully, along the way. Okay, since this is a New Year's recap update, really quickly, I'm going to go over 5 of my top goals for this year. Let's see. This way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. I can't figure out which way to point. Okay, number 1, dry January. So, some of you may have heard of dry January, some of you may not have, but basically it is a commitment to yourself to not drink alcohol for the month of January. So I think it was actually a public health initiative that started in the UK, and it's sort of just become this trendy, popular thing. And I just sort of realized that alcohol was not doing me any favors during quarantine and definitely not helping my sleep cycles. So 1, dry January. Here I come. I've made it 3 days, so there you go. Okay, number 2. Oh, this one's an easy one. Number 2, get the COVID-19 vaccine. So we are not essential workers, and we are both working from home, so I don't know where we are on the list of, we also are not elderly. So again, I don't know where we exactly fall on the list of who gets the vaccine and when, but I am going to take it as soon as possible, as soon as it is available to me. And hopefully after all of our essential workers, healthcare workers, grocery store workers, and anyone who lives in, assisted living facilities or even prisons, and the people that work in those facilities. I would love for all of them to get vaccinated first and then sign me up. And I'm sorry if I forgot someone that is more important than me. Let's all get vaccinated in 2021. Okay, number 3 is a continuation of a goal that I started in 2020. Well, actually started these family meetings in 2019, and I continued them into 2020, and I did one every Monday through the whole year of 2020. It's just a very quick 10-minute check-in every Monday morning. I have each kid's name listed out, and then I just sort of jot some notes down about what they're doing that week or what sort of goals they're working on and how I can help them do that. And then I have a little section for myself and just sort of like a little family section for what, if anything, that we are all working on together. So it definitely has helped me give a little structure to my weeks, and sort of especially during this time of all of us being in the same house, it sort of helps us all have our separate little goals and activities that we are working on. So I think I have done 80 family meetings, and I am going to continue that into 2021. Okay, number 4. I am going to design a birthday book. So very similar to my concept of my Christmas journal for the Archive Hive, I'm going to make a birthday book as sort of like a keepsake memory book for birthday memories. I haven't quite figured out all of the details yet. I am working on some cover designs and some questions to go inside, and I'm also trying to decide my Christmas journal books were 25 years, and so I'm trying to decide if the birthday book should be also be 25 years or should they be 18 years. So it's sort of like a baby book or something that you could give at baby showers, or if it should just be 1 to 10 years. I haven't quite worked out all the details, but my goal is to create and release that book this year. Okay, last goal, number 5. I am aiming for a specific dollar value to make in revenue for the Archive Hive. And for 2021, that number is going to be $10,000. And I already have made a little bit of progress toward it. And again, that would just be strictly book sales, revenue from book sales. So I am hoping, I know with a Christmas book that it will be, a lot of sales will probably be, towards the end of the year, towards Christmas, because it's a really great gift to give people. But I'm hoping with the release of the birthday book that I will be able to hit that goal in 2021. Let's wrap this up with the top 5 reads and the top 5 shows of 2020. Number 1, The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. It is a story of 2 sisters. I'm a sucker for sister stories. This one was particularly amazing and won quite a few awards this year. So definitely got the 5-star review, and I highly recommend. Number 2, one of my few nonfiction reads of the year, Untamed by Glennon Doyle. Melton Doyle? Glennon. We can call her Glennon, I think, just. Number 3, The Color Purple by Alice Walker. And I realize that is an old book that many of you have probably read before, but it was a book club pick for me and my first time reading it. And I loved it and am now devouring all things Alice Walker. So if you haven't read The Color Purple yet, get to it. Number 4, I know. Number 4 is a YA fantasy book. It's kind of a fun, like mini Cersei-like book if you read that. It's called Lifestyles of Gods and Monsters. And number 5 is Unwind by Neil Shusterman. It is a fantasy trilogy. It is the first book in a fantasy trilogy, Unwind, and it's an older series. I recently read the Toll series by Neil Shusterman, and that was another great trilogy that he wrote. And Unwind is actually an older series, but somehow I missed it when it first came out. And so now I have the pleasure of reading it now, and Unwind was definitely on my top 5 list from 2020. Okay, that's a wrap on the books. I think I wound up reading 40 something books. So my goal for 2021 is 50 books. Quickly, top 5 shows of 2020. Number 1, I don't really know like what order I'm going in here. Number 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, number 1, Call the Midwife, which I did a very, very deep dive into towards the beginning of quarantine. I think there are 9 or 10 seasons of Call the Midwife, and yes, I did watch every single one. One of them, and I love them. I don't know. There's just something about 1940s, 50s, and 60s midwives and nuns delivering babies in London. I am not sure what it was, but binged it. Okay, number 2. Let me look at my list. Oh, number 2, Bridgerton, which is a newer series that just released on Netflix. Also a period piece, but more like 1800s period piece. It's sort of a Downton Abbey meets Gossip Girl mashup. And it was super silly, super sexy, super fun. And I highly enjoyed. So I hope that I hope it gets renewed for season 2 because it was great. Number 3 is dun dun dun. Number 3, The Wilds on Amazon Prime. This show is not for everyone, okay? I'm just gonna throw that out there. Sort of like a Pretty Little Liar. If you liked Pretty Little Liars and if you liked Lost, you will be into this show. It is like teen girl drama on a deserted island, and then you find out that they're a part of this experiment. Very intense. I am maybe not going to go far as to say high quality. In my mind, it was high quality. But I realized the rest of the world might not recognize it as such, but I don't care. I loved it, and I didn't quite love the way it ended, so I'm very happy to hear that it renewed for season 2 because I have a lot of questions for you, Wilds, girls of the Wilds. Okay, number 4. Okay, guys, Ted Lasso. I don't know if any of y'all have watched it. It is on Apple TV, and I just sobbed through the whole thing. I'm a sucker for anything sports related, and this show, chef's kiss. It was like a whole season of quirky, endearing characters. The main character, Ted Lasso, is an American football coach, and he moves to the UK to coach a soccer team. And the story goes from there. And like I said, I subbed through most of it in the best possible way. So if you need like an emotional release during the dark days of January, give Ted Lasso a shot. And of course, number 1, the trophy goes for me in 2020 goes to Schitt's Creek. I had never watched it before, and so my partner and I took Schitt's Creek very slowly. We watched an episode per night for a long time, and yes, it is as wonderful and original as everyone says that it is. Okay, that is a wrap on 2020. And that is a wrap on this video. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to sharing my journey with the Archive Hive and with what is going on with me and my family through the next year. Talk to you guys later. Bye.